Hello everyone, it's Sue from Paper Drake, and I've come today to show you some new digital designs from nessiecraft. This consists of 2 pages of paper ephemera, and that is called Vintage Creep, and then 5 backgrounds. Hope you can see those alright. The world. This one is called filigree. This is a garden design. This one is a red pattern, and this one is called medallion. And they're all really versatile and useful. I have made a journal which I have put and made good use of all of these, and I also printed out some in black and white too, just to give me a little bit extra. And here is the book that I've made with it. It's 8x6 with a hidden spine. It has a raised frame on the front, and it's been covered with a cheesecloth or muslin and distressed, and as you can see, I've already altered one of the digital downloads from the Vintage Creep by just tearing around it and putting that to fit in the frame. And I really like that about this kit. You can kind of tear it around and make it fit in with whatever you want to achieve. So inside this book, the back and front inside covers are covered with an Italian end paper, which is really opulent. And then inside, as I go through the pages, you'll see how I've used the designs, the background designs I've used as pages. I've also wet them quite a lot and stained the back so that the pattern comes through to the other side as well. There's the image in its fullness with a couple of tags and some dried flowers and some anatomical downloads. I've done some of the coffee staining with a red ink as well, which has given this veining effect. This is some of the medallion paper, which I've just backed and used as a folder. There's lots of journaling space. This is the other side of that red design. Some maps with some blood stains. This is the filigree pattern, and I've backed that with some paper from a dictionary. There's a little piece there from the Victorian Creep of a graveyard, quite a spooky photograph, and with it a piece of lace and an earring. I was trying to conjure up a feeling of, you know, the Victorian obsession with the dead and the grave robbers and that kind of thing. And we had the Sherlock Holmes, and we had Jack the Ripper, all that kind of thing. So this is a bit of a slant on that. This is one of the other pages, which I like because it goes well with some of the faded pressed flowers that I've put in here, purposely because it just gave me that idea of things that had faded and died. It is Halloween after all. This is some circus figures, which was another Victorian obsession with animals from abroad. This is a tag made from the filigree design but printed out in black and white, and it's given me these nice greys, and I've put a bit more of one of the images on the end and some words. This I put in as part of the Victorian idea of all things strange, and this man, his face is actually made up of ladies in various styles of clothing, or not, as the case may be, and that's quite a strange and fun thing to look at. More of the horses and primates, elephants that they so fond of, and also in this age they were thinking about anatomy and the brain and how the brain worked, so I've tried to include some of those as well. This is the medallion, which again I've heavily stained on the back. That's just another way of using that kit. Some more flowers, a lady there. This is a letter supposedly from Jack the Ripper. It's a copy of that, not the real thing of course. And I've done a bit of stenciling there just to give a silhouette of someone who would potentially be quite menacing. This is again the black and white image from the pack that I printed out in black and white, made into a little pocket. Some ladies in there. The other side of the letter, another tag, and this is the original image, which is a really nice colour. And then there's some little tickets for poison bottles in this little flip up here. We've got a few, there's some pressed flowers there, and there's a little brooch and a button, which I won't show you all of it because whoever buys this would maybe like to find out those things for themselves. More maps, more, this is for arsenic, and there's a little dried leaf there and another one of those tags. This is some of the obsession with the brain and where they think some of our emotions were seated. That's the other part of the letter. Some technical drawings. Obviously in the age of industrial revolution. The other side of that, another little iodine tincture. These were from Mike Deakin, and maybe he's trying out his potions with some added herbs and flowers. This is the garden one, which I've again distressed a little more for the use that I wanted in this book. Page with some gesso. These are two images from the Victorian creep set. I've made that into a little card, which again you could gesso if you wanted to, or put some more paper on the back, but that has some words from a book. And this is some kind of floor plan, which is faded and very nice. It's a very, very versatile kit. This is from the Graphics Fairy, and I thought that looked a reasonable building to put in when we're looking at Victorian obsessions with strange things. This is from the Victorian creep set, and I've used that as a double pocket there, and this is another tag, and there's some dried flowers there. There's a little image of a painting there, and this is another painting image, and I got those just from an exhibition I went to, and that was some of the advertising. It's well worth collecting those things to go in your collection. Put a map there, just in case this book belonged to a rather dubious individual who was plotting his next move. This is I've made this into a smaller image of the big map that you saw from the backgrounds to sew in as a pocket, and I've put in some more tags, a photograph of another sort of churchyard, a little bit of rope there, and here is perhaps the murderer, the stalker, with his ideas of what he might be using next. And he's obviously been travelling because there's a little vintage ticket in there. That's a floating pocket which I just put in there. More technical drawings. I really like these, and they've blended in very well. I got them from the vintage ephemera shop. They've blended in very well with this, and with the colours in Vanessa's from nessiecraft, with her colours that she's chosen. So it's made the finishing the book very easy because it's such a lovely kit and has a lot of scope to use, not only for journals but for tags and cards and all kinds of things. This is the map cut out there, and there's another map in greater detail of the Americas, and a painting of some women there, a piece of fabric, so maybe this guy is plotting his next move or escaping to this place. A bit gory, I know, but it is Halloween. And then finally, this is another piece from the nessiecraft designs, and I've used that as an ex libris card because I think it fits well with that, and you can just write your name in as the book owner. So there you are. It's got a 6 signatures in all, about 120 pages. It's got a nice feel to it, 2¼ inch spine I think that is, and it's a hidden spine. It's been stained and distressed, and I hope that you like it. Thanks for popping in. Bye bye.